What made me realize my sister had been sabotaging every pregnancy? Danny and I spent 2 years going through fertility treatments that drained our savings and nearly broke us emotionally. Danny learned how to give me hormone shots. I learned how to smile when other people announced pregnancies. We even turned the guest room into a nursery, though I could barely stand to look at it. Then, finally, our miracle happened. 2 pink lines. I dropped to my knees in the bathroom, shaking, and Danny found me on the floor. We held each other on the cold tile, crying with relief, but my sister Laura had always treated life like a competition. Better grades, prettier dresses, bigger weddings. She always had to be ahead. So when I told her our news, she immediately announced, "What a coincidence. I'm pregnant too." Of course she was. At family dinners, she would loudly compare our symptoms. I have 0 morning sickness. It's so easy for me. My mother would dote on her while I struggled to keep food down. Then at week 10, I woke up cramping and bleeding. Danny rushed me to the hospital, but it was too late. Our baby was gone. I couldn't stop apologizing to him like I had failed him. That evening, Laura visited, sat on my hospital bed, and said, "Maybe your body just knows when something's wrong. Some people aren't meant to be mothers." She rubbed her own belly as she said it. 6 months later, I got pregnant again. Danny and I kept it quiet for 8 weeks, but Laura somehow knew. "You're glowing," she said at lunch, placing her hand on my stomach before I could stop her. "Trying again. So brave after your first failure." That word hit like a knife. This time, I made it to 12 weeks. Laura threw a gender reveal party for herself that same weekend and insisted I come. Unless you think it'll be too hard watching me celebrate what you can't have. Then, the morning of her party, the cramping started again. Laura visited me at home later, 7 months pregnant and smiling. "Maybe you should stop trying," she said, sorting through my mail like she owned the place. Getting pathetic. Some women just can't do it. Then she left a bag of maternity clothes behind as if that made her cruel words kinder. By my 3rd pregnancy, we told no one, not even our parents. But at Thanksgiving, I looked exhausted, and Laura noticed immediately. "Oh my God, you're trying again," she announced to the whole family. After 2 miscarriages, that's basically child abuse at this point. I ran to the bathroom crying. Laura followed me, pretending to comfort me. Her purse had fallen open on the counter, and I saw a prescription bottle tucked inside. The label was partially hidden, but I managed to read enough to make my stomach drop. I googled it in the bathroom stall. It was abortion medication. My hands started shaking as everything clicked. Every miscarriage had happened after I'd seen Laura, after she made me tea, after her smoothies, after the vitamins she said were harmless sisterly help. I stayed in that bathroom for 20 minutes, realizing my whole world had tilted off its axis. When I came out, Laura was back at dinner, acting like the picture of perfect motherhood, but I wasn't blind anymore. I smiled and said nothing. Not yet. The investigation began when lab results showed something in my blood from the 3rd miscarriage. I gave the police everything. Timelines, photos, texts, and every memory I had of Laura insisting I drink whatever she offered. A week later, they arrested her at our nephew's birthday party. Officers walked through screaming children and passed the princess cake before cuffing her in front of everyone. Mom fainted. Dad threw up outside. Laura's husband stood frozen, holding their baby. Laura screamed that I was jealous and bitter. As they dragged, she was fired. Her husband filed for divorce and emergency custody within 48 hours. But even then, my mother still defended her. 2 weeks later, Laura called from prison and asked why. If this story shocked you, subscribe for more intense real-life stories.